Hi, pussies. Welcome back to Therapuss, and welcome back for a special Friday episode. This time, it is with one of my all-time favorite comedians, Whitney Cummings. I'm so honored that we were able to make this work, and I went on her podcast, and she came on mine, and she's just so lovely, so kind, so funny, so quick, so smart, and she makes you feel like family, like after knowing her for an hour, which I think is one of the most incredible qualities. And I really have nothing but love for her. And I'm so excited for you guys to see this episode because it was so awesome to get to talk to her. I either like to do life updates or I like to call pussies in the intro. And I think right now I'm going to call a pussy. Hello?
You're lying.
No, I just got your board at work and I wanted to give you a call.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my God. I was like freaking out. No way. I literally submitted that yesterday.
I know. We were just going through a few.
Oh my God. Hi, Jake.
What's your name?
I'm Desiree.
Hi, Desiree. I'm Jake. I'm sitting here with Nolan. Say hi to Nolan.
Hi, Nolan.
Hi, Desiree.
Oh my God. This is literally so crazy. I was literally telling my friend yesterday, I was like, the way Jake Shane just meets everyone at Outlaw is insane. Like, I would want to do that.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty insane. Is a great word to describe it. It's pretty insane. How's your day going? Is there anything your therapist about? Is like what's going on?
Okay, yeah, I actually do have something.
Okay, let's talk.
Like a small thing. Okay, so basically, I had work today. Got called off because the AC was broken. Everyone else gets to work but me, and I won't get confiscated for that.
Wait. I'm confused. So work was called off because of the AC, but everyone else is working?
Yeah, like they're working remote, but since like I'm a student worker, like they're like, oh, like you can't work at home, but we're not going to pay you either.
That's not right. And I'm sorry, Desiree.
Right. It's okay. But thank you for your call. It just made my day so much better.
Oh, girl, I'm so happy. Do you want to say hi to the pussies? Hi,
pussies.
They say hi back. Desiree, I love you. I hope your day gets better.
Thank you so much.
Aww.
I hope you have the most amazing day ever.
Oh, you too, Desiree. Hi.
The most amazing day.
Oh, you too. Love her. Love her. Pussies, as always, submit Tell Me What's Wrongs to passthatpuss.com. Submit a name and number if you're feeling fancy. And enjoy the episode. Okay, I love you, pussies. Okay, pussies, welcome back to Therapuss. Today we have a very special guest, someone I have watched for years and years and years and look up to so much in this comedy space. Welcome to the Therapuss office, Whitney Cummings. Hi, Whitney.
This is big.
This is huge.
I am nervous. I'm actually
You're nervous?
Yes, I'm nervous.
I'm nervous. I remember you're at the Comedy Store tonight, right?
Yes.
I saw you at the Comedy Store like a year ago.
Oh.
I saw you a year ago, and I remember something you said that stuck with me. Because I remember, because comedy is kind of like about like you got to piss people off.
Yeah.
And you said, I don't know if you'll remember this story. You made a joke, and some woman came up to you in the parking lot and yelled at you, and you were like, "Sorry."
Oh,
and
yeah.
How do you deal with shit like that?
You know, I do feel like the YouTube, Reddit, Instagram, TikTok comment section has prepared me for all of that stuff. When it happens in real life, I kind of appreciate it now. I'm like, thank you for not being like
a troll.
A troll. Thank you for not like doing this in a way that I can't even retaliate. Yeah, but like also publicly doing it. Thank you for doing it to my face. I actually feel like oddly respected when somebody does that. It doesn't happen very often. That was actually, oh God, I'd have to remember. I think that was something I was doing.
Or it was like a blind person. I forget what it was.
Oh, it might have been a blind person.
It was a blind person. You made a blind joke.
Wait, that's really funny. And then there was also somebody who I was saying something about the Chappelle thing.
Right.
And someone was like, Dave Chappelle's not funny, like stood up and yelled at me. Like, and I was just kind of like, this is a weird call.
Yeah, like.
Weird call. Like, I wanted to graze past this. Like, a lot of people come and I blame Matt Rife, love you, but also now everyone in the audience thinks that they're going to get on camera.
Right.
Because of the crowd work videos.
Oh.
People come to comedy shows in cowboy hats, dressed for Coachella, night 2, feather earrings. Like, they are camera ready, face beat, contoured, like ready with their heckle, ready with their thing, because they think they're going to get in a Matt Rife crowd work video and become famous.
Interesting. I didn't know that happened in comedy.
So everyone's really thinks we want their feedback now.
And it's like, I'm
like, hey everyone, I'm from here. And they're like, I'm from Tennessee. And you're like, I don't have a joke for that. That's okay. Like, we've been dating for 6 months. Anything? Like, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to make fun of you.
Do you ever tell people like, shut up?
Sometimes. I can do that with my energy pretty well. Sometimes I just let them keep talking.
And is Grace O'Malley opening for you?
Oh my gosh. Grace O'Malley is doing now 6 cities with me, but I think I'm going to bring her on more and more. I'm obsessed with her. I cannot get enough of her energy. I'm just, So from Plan Brie, you guys know her.
Yeah, everyone knows Grace O'Malley. She's the best. And it's just, the story is so sweet. For those who don't know, she was like, she did your podcast or you did her podcast?
I went to Barstool Sports, I don't know, a couple years ago to promote a special or something, and she ran up to me in the lobby and was like, I'm such a big fan, I love you. And I really appreciate that. Like, I'm sure you have people that come up to you. It gets a little weird at first when you're, but like, I really appreciate it. Yeah, to me, I'm such an acquired taste. And if somebody runs up to me and loves me that much, I'm like, can we be friends? And they're like, I kind of just wanted a photo. And I'm like, what's your number? Want to hang out? And they're like, no, I'm good. My fans have to get a restraining order against me at this point. And so I just appreciated that vulnerability so much. And I appreciated her like honesty, and she was flustered. And then it's like, for someone like you to have know me or be inspired by me, whatever it is, like that.
Whitney, I've been watching you since I was a kid. Like that.
Okay, let's easy.
No.
Easy. I feel attacked. I would like to talk to human resources.
It's not that crazy.
Okay. But it's like, to me, it's just like the coolest thing to be like, I think you're so cool. If I had anything to do with that, if a cool person likes me, I guess I must be cool. It's just whatever. We're all insecure. Being successful never makes that insecurity go away, So when fans are cool, there's nothing better than that. It makes it all worth it, all this, insanity. And so then I did their podcast.
Yes.
And she's just like.
She's hilarious.
That's also you guys are inventing this new thing that's not necessarily like you guys are going on stage and writing jokes, but you're fearlessly, authentically yourselves. And I'm learning a lot from you guys, because I'm like, wait a second, but I have to write this perfect joke. And it's like, no, you might just have to be raw and unfiltered and honest in this moment.
It's like, it's so interesting you say that, because I do feel comedy changing a bit. I did my first ticketed live show the other week, and I remember all my friends saying to me, be very careful, Jake. It's not stand up. If it was stand up, we would tell you to cancel it. You haven't written a single joke. You haven't done anything. And I got up there and I just told stories for an hour straight.
Heaven.
Which is stand up in a way.
It's absolutely stand up. And also stand up is changing. I agree, because jokes, stand up before Twitter and the internet and stuff, it was you could do anything. But now memes, people see memes all day. They see funny tweets all day. So by the time they go to a comedy club or to go see you, granted they're coming to see you specifically, but they don't need to see a hard joke. They've already seen a lot of hilarious memes that day. They've seen funny tweets. They've seen all kinds of videos and whatever. And so by the time they see you, they want to see something personal, something different, something surprising. Comedy's just about surprising people, which, by the way, I never tell stories and I'm working on it.
You're a great storyteller.
The only reason I agreed to do this is because I have a story that I've never told publicly that I think you would like.
Tell me right now. I need to know. What is it about?
Lana Del Rey.
Tell me! What is it?
I think I have maybe the best Lana Del Rey story.
Please, I need to know.
No, I know. It's why I'm here. And now I'm being an edger. I feel leveraged.
You're edging
So
me.
I'm just holding.
Okay, you're going to withhold?
Okay, so I don't know if you remember. So Lana Del Rey, obsessed.
Right.
When the video games video came out, what were you, in utero?
I was 11.
Were you, was the coat hanger hitting you in the side of the head? Your mom was trying to end.
She was like, fuck.
And so I was so mesmerized by her.
Right.
And I know a lot of people were very jealous of her. There was a lot, that video games video got 50 million views. This was kind of was she one of the first sort of musicians to kind of make it on YouTube first?
No, she was one of the
Never
first
disagree
musicians.
with me in front of my fans.
No.
Unbelievable.
She was one of the she joined the first was it was Justin Bieber. That was
of course.
But Lana really, what she did was pave the way for kind of this dark pop.
Got it. Moody, melancholy.
Moody mainstream pop, because that's what she did.
That's what felt different to me about it. It was like you would see these sort of like, you know, pop, traditional, mainstream, and then she was like just doing her own thing. Yeah. I was like, I feel like I'm watching like film noir on YouTube.
Right.
Like, she's not like trying to cater to mainstream. Whatever it was, I was mesmerized, obsessed. And she felt like next coming of like Fiona Apple mixed with some Marilyn Manson, just like, I don't know, with Shirley Manson. Like she just seemed like so original and I got obsessed with her. And she got SNL.
Sorry.
Oh, excuse me.
It's my breathing alarm.
That was my IUD. Is that your breathing alarm? Yeah. Do you do like a...
No, it's my... Okay, so I had this therapist.
Okay.
She was a TikTok therapist, which I didn't know until 10 sessions in, and that's when I fired her, because I was like, you can't be famous on TikTok and be my therapist. She was like telling me, like we were talking, and the only helpful thing she ever told me to do is set a breathing alarm. And it's the most unhelpful thing ever, because I don't breathe.
She's like, I think I know how to get your views up.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to be more vulnerable in your videos.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I was like, some things are... Because she was like, we were talking, and she was like, you know, I'm famous on TikTok, too. And I was like...
What? I'm so sorry?
Yeah, and I saw an ad for her on my YouTube the other day.
That was paid.
And I was like,
that was paid.
This is just not right.
She
I'm
paid
happy
for that. She put in her credit card number, expiration date, like she paid for that ad.
Which we will get to after you finish edging me with this Lana Del Rey story.
Okay, I don't even know. I don't even know where to start because I have been sitting on this story for so long. It's a pretty infamous story in my personal life, but I've never told it publicly, and I hope it doesn't get me in trouble. It for sure will. Whatever. I'm in TikTok jail in so many ways because I did a video about how the Disney castles are made of dicks, and so now this is demonetized.
You're in trouble for that?
You're not supposed to say that. Okay, so Lana Del Rey. That video came out after I had been doing a TV show on NBC, a sitcom that had my name on it. No one was really doing multi-camera sitcoms at the time. It was like The Office and Community and these single camera shows. So the difference, which y'all know, iCarly, Friends, Reba, those shows that have a live studio audience. Big Bang Theory, right? So that's a multi-camera show, which people think of as more corny, but they're more successful.
Yes.
They're more syndicatable.
How I Met Your Mother.
Wizards of Waverly Place. So the single camera shows are kind of like cooler. They kind of win Emmys, but the multi-camera shows like the Big Bang Theories are more like commercially successful.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm a comedian. My inspirations were like Roseanne. I watched that show growing up, multicams, Seinfeld, stuff like that. So I get a deal with NBC after I've done, a special, and they're like, we want to do like a multicam, like a traditional multicam. They're also cheaper to make, and they make more money in the long run. So I'm like, great, I'll do that. I do it on NBC. The Office is after me, which is like the critically acclaimed, super subtle, everyone's dry, and I'm like on this multicam doing like hard jokes, so I get publicly trashed in a way that no one had really been publicly trashed. I certainly had not seen it. Publicly dragged. Twitter,
for your show.
For the show. There were billboards everywhere. It had, I think, the biggest ad campaign because I
remember the show.
And this isn't me being arrogant. I did test very well. So, it tested very well. There was all the science. They did this $100 million ad campaign. They were everywhere. And bless the hearts of the people that did the ad campaign, but they marketed it like a corny sitcom. And it was like me, holding a beach ball. I was 26 years old. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I was just and they put these taglines that they took from my tweets that were kind of silly. And, it was a traditional multicam.
Right.
On a network where people were winning Emmys for single cam. So dragged. It was like Twitter, just dragged, destroyed. In a way, I didn't really know it was happening because I was working so much, but I would go places and people would be like, how you doing?
That's the worst.
The worst.
It's don't remind me. I didn't know.
But I didn't even know. And I was like, I'm great. Everyone treated me like I have cancer.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, how you doing? And then when people start consoling you for something that you don't even know is happening, hey, they're just jealous.
And you're like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? They just don't get it.
That's why you don't bring that shit up to people.
Don't listen to the haters. Yeah. Don't listen to them.
You're like, I didn't even know there were.
They're just jealous. Who? So I'm so paranoid. I don't know what's happening. And then I make the brutal mistake one day of Googling myself and I'm like, okay, got it.
Yeah.
So it's bad. Again, I come from comedy. I come from the roasts. I did the Joan Rivers roast and Donald Trump roast and that kind of stuff. So I'm used to this brutal, I have thick skin. I'm young and at the time and kind of any attention is good attention.
Right.
My rent is being paid. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a fuck?
I was able to pay off my student loans and shit. And I'm just if a couple people on the internet hate me, fine. You don't want to fuck me? Cool.
Yeah.
You live in Pensacola. I trolling. They're like, you're ugly. And I'm like, I agree. Yeah. I know you can't really hurt someone who already hates themselves.
I always say that.
I love that.
I always say that. You know who else? I said that's one of my favorite shows, Girls. They have a good it's It's my favorite show of all time. And they have Lena Dunham has this quote, and she says, "Anything you've said to me, I've said to myself and worse in the past 30 minutes. So nothing you say can hurt me."
Like in a mirror, like with the razor blade, like, you know what I mean? Like, what are we saying? Like, that's how I make myself come, in the mirror, like saying what you just misspelled in my comment section, you know? So yeah, so it's a lot of like, dude, we have a lot in common. We actually should hang out. I agree with everything you're saying about me. You know, so it's just kind of, you know, and maybe I should have been more sensitive to it at the time. I'd come from an alcoholic home. You know, negativity kind of felt like a warm hug in a weird way. You know what I mean? But then I did do the auto block. You know, on Instagram, you can auto block words.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You can auto block comments, but
what were some words you blocked?
I was going to say, you really have to look in the mirror when you're writing those out.
You're like,
I don't want us to get demonetized, but it was like,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Cunt, unfunny, whore, slut, busted.
And you're like writing these out. And you're like, maybe I'm not.
I know. I'm like, is this my like boundaries or my suicide note? I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm learning a lot about myself. But whatever. Again, like being a woman in comedy was sort of like, this is so rare. Like I already was prepared for like, you're in a boys club, like you're a woman talking who has opinions. Like when, you know, a man was like, you're not funny. I was like, the fact that you even watch the special at all makes you a radical feminist. If you don't think, it's like a man going to a WNBA game and being like, oh, this game sucks. It's like, well, you went to a WNBA game. Like, you don't have to then like it, you know? So
just go.
I was just so grateful that anyone gave a shit, you know? And so I'm getting trashed like big. Like big TV critics, like people that I was fans of, like this guy, Alex Sulkin, he wrote on like The Family Guy. It was like, it was like got really popular to like make fun of me and make me like a punching bag. It's fine now. It's kind of it went the other way and now it's kind of like cool to like me or something. Like it's ironically cool.
That's society.
Yeah. So totally. So it was like, now people like kind of, whatever. But it was a wild time.
Right.
And then I remember Zoe Lister-Jones, an actress on the show, shows me Lana Del Rey's video on set of this NBC show. I'm just transfixed by her, obsessed, right? And it gets really big, and she gets asked to do Saturday Night Live.
Oh, I remember.
She does Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
And is destroyed publicly.
Yeah.
Now, look, I can't really speak for the performance. I don't really care.
Right.
But at the time, she hadn't really performed live.
I think it was her first televised performance.
Okay, exactly. So it's like there's all these like, you guys, YouTube, like the fact that you just went on stage and told stories for people, like it's a different trajectory now. It's like the YouTubers, like you guys are talking to camera, you're talking to each other, and then all of a sudden, I mean, being in front of a live studio audience, not better, not worse, is a skill over time. Like I've had to learn the skill of stop yelling. You're just in a room with 4 people and you're doing this and I'm still screaming as if I'm performing for 2,000 people, you know? So I need to learn your skill, and then you guys have to learn the skill of going on stage.
I yell all the time.
I was going to say, it's like, but like you're on stage, it comes natural to you. But like Lana Del Rey, like just in her defense at the time, like she hadn't done, most musicians, they do clubs and then they do, and then by the time they get to SNL, they're like, have been live performers for a while, you know? Right. She is destroyed in a way that, I mean, it was shock. It takes a lot to like shock me. It was shocking.
I remember, I was young at the time, but I remember being such a big fan of hers and being so sad for her. I remember feeling so upset for her. I remember how nasty the memes out of that were like, I was like, oh God, like that.
It was Twitter. She was trending on Twitter like for weeks.
Yeah.
And it went on and it went on, and she just became this punchline. And after like 2 or 3 weeks, it felt like this has nothing to do with her anymore.
Right.
It's just like for sport, to try to humiliate this beautiful woman that like kind of failed, but also kind of didn't in a way. She did something super brave and ballsy, and maybe her managers should have told her no. Maybe she didn't even have any managers at the time. Whatever it was, like I think there's this like, we get really tribal in our public shamings, and it was like the first time the internet. I'm not gonna say the first time. I'm not an internet historian, but like it was the first time I recall being like, this is just they need to stand down. This is just like too far. Right. If this girl blows her brains out, like she's not a comedian. She's not. No one was defending her. everyone just let it happen. And I'm thinking of now, I finally understand kind of how the media works at this point. All these pedophiles that run the media, I don't know, whatever. When they're not on Epstein Island vacationing, it's like all these like men that run these websites. And I'm like, you guys are green lighting these articles and allowing all this just because it's getting more traction. And it just felt like someone needed to do something or say something.
Right.
And I'm not a cry misogyny person. I'm like, female comedian, never talked about it being harder. Like, but this just felt so like she's beautiful and successful and people need to like her. It felt sadistic.
Yeah, it did.
Tumblr at the time was where I like to exercise my First Amendment right.
What was your Tumblr?
It was called Princess Complex.
Mine was Far Beyond the Walls.
Dramatic.
Yeah, I know.
So dramatic.
I know. Continue.
Did it have like the cast of the craft on top?
It was Hunger Games themed.
Amazing.
It was Hunger Games
like,
themed.
was it Elizabeth Banks?
Yeah, it was Jennifer Lawrence mostly.
Okay.
And then I saw a trailer for the documentary Bully on Tumblr once, and it made me scared of social media, and I deleted my Tumblr.
And by the way, can we get back our old Tumblr? Everything's gone.
I miss it. I miss it. You know what? The guy who created Tumblr went to my high school. If you're listening to this, please let me bring back my old Tumblr.
Just like revive it.
Yes.
Yeah, like, can we get the content back?
I want to see what it was.
Like a yearbook or something of like your Tumblr now.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Wouldn't that be so cool?
They definitely have it. Nothing goes away.
Anyway, so I go on my Tumblr and I write a very long diatribe chastising everybody that was attacking Lana Del Rey and defending her.
Okay.
Okay. And it's very well written, if I must say myself.
Yeah.
The next day, it's on Vulture, which is New York Magazine's thing. It's like gets picked up everywhere. Like Whitney Cummings, who, got trashed, is now defending Lana Del Rey.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the story was kind of like, oh, like whatever. And then they found a way to trash me more. But I was like, you know what? Like, I know you know Drew Afwalo. Like,
yes, love her.
I love her. She's on my podcast. She's going to open for me on a couple dates too.
Oh, no way.
And do stand up on some Southern California dates. I conned her into that. But she says something that I love, where she goes, I just like to stand in front of people. And I loved that. But I kind of was just like, I was like, you know what? I can take it.
Right.
Give it to, like, let me take the heat back off Lana. This is like my own little mission happening, right? And then leave her alone. So I do that. It like gets picked up everywhere. And then it starts to kind of die down. And I very much like felt like I jumped on a grenade for her. Like I felt like I like took a bullet for her. And I was like, you know what? Like what a fun, cool way to like what people say now, like use your platform or whatever.
Right.
It's like, I'm just this trash gutter bitch.
Yeah.
I can handle all this. Like anything you guys are saying, like my dad said to me when I was a child. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm fine with it. Leave her alone. She's too sensitive. You've listened to her music?
Yeah.
She's like so sensitive and emo, like she can't take it, right? A couple months pass and I'm at the Chateau Marmont.
Oh, wow.
Chateau Marmont.
So Lana's there.
Chateau Marmont Hotel with all of the writers that worked on the show that I was on. It was like 12 writers. Lana Del Rey walks in. And I'm like, you guys.
Yeah.
Gotta go say hi.
Yeah, like, it's the girl I jumped on the grenade
Like, I
for.
have to go.
Yeah. She's expecting me,
I have
actually.
to go let her say thank you.
Yeah, like.
To me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you know. And I'm like, okay. When I tell you I've never walked this way before or since. Like, I walked like, God, like I can't even explain the gait. Just like, it was like, I'm here.
Yeah. Like,
hey, here I am.
It's me.
It's me. Like, was waiting for like she's in like a white apron. I mean, she can make anything look cool. She was in like something wild. And I'm like, Lana. And she like turns around, like, she was a little skittish at the time anyway. But it's a Chateau Marmont where like everybody's kind of something. And she looks at me, and I'm, of course, like...
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know what that emotion is. That just like...
Just like, come here, girl.
Come here. Come to mom. Come on. Get over here. And she's like... When I tell you, and I'm like, it's me. It's Whitney. Hey. Like, how are you? And she was like, I'm just so grateful to be doing what I'm doing. It's like... She had like a canned kind of answer.
Oh, she didn't know.
For like fans.
Oh, no. Okay.
And she's like, I'm just so grateful to be doing what I'm doing, especially at a time that's, so chaotic in the music business. And I was like,
thank you.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there, and then like her security guard kind of just like cups her in or something. And I'm like, I have like 12 people at a table behind me watching this interaction
Yeah,
that have lived this day by day drama of me being like, what's going on with Lana is disgusting. I'm posting about it. And then Vulture posted and I think she's good now. I mean, like I was like, I have to turn around and face that table.
Did you lie? I would have lied.
Well, no, they saw the whole thing. I mean, they saw her be like,
yeah.
And so I have to like slowly like turn around and face all these people that just watched me completely get it, like ignored by Lana Del Rey. And I turn around and they're all just like it's so bad. So
oh my God.
So then I went up to her like 20 minutes later and asked for a photo. So I have a photo of us from that night. I should send it to you.
You have to send it to me because we must include it.
Yeah.
In this.
I mean, I think she was like probably just, it's like in a dissociative state of being so famous. And the same way that like I had no idea what was going on, she probably just had no clue any of it was happening. And I want to be like, I fought a war for you.
Yeah, like and she on just fucking had Tumblr.
I had for no reason.
Yeah.
No reason at all.
Can I say that is so something that I would do? And I
Martyrs.
resonate with you.
So
and
Scorpio.
So Scorpio. I empathize.
So Scorp.
And I would have supported you in that moment.
But I still like take credit. Like when someone's like, Lana Del Rey, I'm like, yeah. Oh, I know her.
Yeah.
I know her. I saved her life. Jumped in front of a car. Like I truly believe I like protected her from like heartbreak.
And you know what?
And pain.
That's your truth.
It is. And it's true.
And it's true.
And the truth is true.
Well, honestly, now I'm just curious. What's your favorite Lana album and song?
I gotta say, I still listen to video games.
Yep.
Like maybe it's because it was like to me the best drug on the planet. I haven't tried all of them, but is nostalgia.
Stop. Yeah.
And the more chaotic the world gets, and the more you like turn on your whatever phone, and it's like video games. Like I'm now back.
Right.
To like it brings up a more innocent thing, you know?
Yes.
I guess that's what it is. I also love that she's just like dating a police officer.
She's working in a Waffle House.
Why am I obsessed with her? But remember all the like conspiracy theories going around in the beginning that she was like a plant. She was like an industry plant.
They say that about if you are successful in the music industry, they will say that to you.
Who do you think is one? Like, is there someone that we can look to?
Okay, are you ready for
like
this?
Milli Vanilli?
Rita Ora.
Okay.
Because like
she's everywhere. She's at the Met Gala. How? Well, she's married to or isn't she married to Taika Waititi? Did I pronounce that right? She's married to a really famous director.
Well,
like a
plant. Well, I'd love to ask you what you're therapist about today. Because comedians always have the best answers.
Oh my gosh!
Like, what is like grinding your gears? What's making you angry? It's a safe space to talk about anger.
Can you go first?
Yeah. What am I therapist about today? What am I therapist about today? I'm honestly in a pretty good mood today. I'm really angry that every morning. I'm angry about a few things. I'm watching this new Elizabeth Moss show.
The Veil?
The Veil!
Tell me.
And it's amazing. And there's only 4 episodes. And it's a really, really mini series. I thought there was going to be like 8 episodes. I'm really invested. And there's only 4 episodes.
They're not dropping more.
No, because normally when they're dropping more, it'll say upcoming. And it just says 4.
Are you
I mean, we'll find out today. Today's the day that the new one drops. But I think there's only 4.
Do you want me to ask the producer?
Please. Will you please?
Hold on, yes.
It's my favorite show right now.
Denise
Oh my God, it's amazing.
I did a movie with her back in the day. Sorry, you guys aren't going to hear this, and you can cut this out if this is boring.
No, it's not boring. It's not boring to me.
What's
What's the Veil about? It's okay. So it's about Elizabeth Moss.
It's 6 episodes.
Oh, thank God!
You have 2 more coming.
I'm not angry anymore.
You've been blue-balled, but you're good.
Elizabeth Moss is an agent for MI6, I think, or
Nice.
she's just like a spy agent, and they're basically trying to figure out if this woman is basically just a woman that has had unfortunate luck, or is a top female commander in ISIS.
Did you watch Killing Eve?
No, I've never seen Killing Eve.
It's been a pleasure. I'm out of here.
Is it that good?
What?
I've never seen it.
Yes, it's that good.
And is it like, does it keep you on your toes type thing? Like,
on your camel toe. Yes, it does.
Like, what's it about?
It's so sexy. It's so smart. It's about Sandra Oh is, I think she's an MI6 or some kind of spy or whatever.
Right.
And then what's her name? She's amazing. The girl in it who plays Villanelle is an assassin. And Sandra Oh is like stalking her to try to find her, but Villanelle like falls in love with it's heaven.
Oh, I'm gonna start
heaven
this.
On earth.
Because I'm like down bad right now. Like I have nothing to watch. I'm watching the Planet of the Apes franchise.
That's kind of wild. Are you a comedy person or do you like drama?
I like thrillers because I don't know why I'm not a comedy person.
You did Game of Thrones already,
yes.
And then the chair.
I only laugh at. I only find, and I'm not even just saying this for brownie points. I really and truly mean this. I only find women funny. So
That's funny.
I don't find. The only man I laugh at is Pete Davidson. It's the only one I'll laugh at.
Wild.
Other than that, Joan Rivers, Kristen Wiig, Heather McMahon, Maya Rudolph,
God.
Chelsea Handler. I only find Amy Poehler. I only find women funny. The only comedy shows I will ever watch are female-led ones.
Interesting.
So I'll watch Abbott Elementary.
Cute.
I'll watch Girls.
Sure.
I used to watch Inside Amy Schumer. I used to watch After Lately.
Have you seen Dairy Girls?
No, I need to.
I had just heard about it and watched it. It's ridiculous.
Really?
It's total madness. It's very funny.
Okay,
the Irish accent is a little tough, but once you get over it, it's like kind of funny.
I'm gonna try out Schitt's Creek. Oh, I used to watch Insecure.
Schitt's Creek is fantastic.
Yeah,
like the best. We loved it.
So what are you pissed about? I'm not letting you go on this one. There must be something.
I guess I'm pissed at a couple things. But they sound so vain and work related.
That's important. That's what this is for.
Because it's embarrassing that I even care. And the fact that I care about this in front of someone who is big on this platform, getting in like TikTok jail, like it does.
It's the worst feeling in the entire world. I'm here to validate you. It is the worst feeling in the entire world.
It feels like high school and I'm not invited to a party. And I know that's like not what it should be. It should just be like, oh, because of their robot, I shouldn't have said vaccine injury in a joke. You know what I mean? It's like kind of that simple. But like, because I did the remember the Miranda Cosgrove sound that went viral from my podcast? It was like,
yes, I forgot that was your podcast. Oh my God.
Like, what's your favorite curse word?
Yeah.
And she said, probably fuck. And so I have like videos that have like 56 million views. And then now they're like, low and I don't know what to, and I think that it's like brings up a very deep seated need to people please and shapeshift to get approval. So it's like, I feel like I finally got to a point in my life where I'm like, this is who I am. If you don't take it or leave it, I'm a little off. I'm definitely an acquired taste. Like a lot of men are going to go, gross, you're too loud. A lot of women are going to go like, I don't know, she's too this or whatever. It doesn't have to be gendered. It's like, there's some people fuck with you and some people don't. It's that simple. Half of it has to do with you. Half of it has to do with them. Half of it has to do with Mercury in retrograde.
Yeah.
Half of it has to do with what they had for, it's just like, what someone thinks of me, it's like, has nothing to do with me. It's kind of none of my business, RuPaul 101, like whatever. But like, I'm having this stuff come up that is like, well, what if I do videos like this? And what if I'm this person? And maybe I'm like this guy. And maybe I'm like comment guy. Maybe I'm like roast girl. And I'm like, I haven't felt that people pleasing thing for a while. And it's embarrassing me and making me mad. And I'm kind of just shutting down and going like, whatever, TikTok's getting sold and it's going away and it's going to be like Vine. And I want to be avoidant and just shut down. And I'm mad at myself for caring so much, but then I vacillate back and forth of going like, no, this is just good at business. Like Katy Perry 101. And like, you just need to do this for your job. And like, this is self-care and blah, blah, blah. But it is taking up a lot of real estate in my brain.
Yeah.
And because then I go, oh, well, I should do this because this is how you get in the algorithm. But then I'm like, but then if these two comedians see me doing this, they're going to think I'm corny.
Oh, God. It's like high school.
Do you have those people in your brain that you're kind of posting for sometimes or that are like heckling you in the back of your mind? Like I will literally go like, can't post this, Chris Rock will see it.
Yes, it's not who people would like think it is, but I do have those people. My issue is like when your career is like stand up, you've been at it forever, you've been on TV, you've had shows. When your career is primarily based in social media, when your views are down and you think people don't think you're funny, oh my God, like you can ask them. Like it ruins me. Like I get in the worst creative rut because it makes me not want to put anything out.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm so excited to go on tour and like do shit because there is not like crack is like hearing people laugh in person.
Yep.
And like
here's what I'll say, and this is like, I think that doing stand-up is like, okay, I've written this hour, I've taken it on tour, I put it out there, like take it or leave it. It's me, but it's also like I've curated these jokes and I've created this art thing, piece. Whereas social media, it's like, you're not rejecting this art piece I made, you're rejecting me.
Right.
Because this is me.
Yeah.
So I get why it hurts more, because you're like, it's saying like my personality didn't get approved, opposed to this like art piece I made that I can be a little bit separate of.
You just need to like my only advice is you just
kill yourself.
No.
Blow my brains out.
You keep posting and you just do what the fuck ever it is you do. And you just post and post and post and post, and those who will catch on, and those who won't.
And I find myself doing the compare and despair, where I'm like, well, this person's doing this, and this person's doing this, and why do people like that? And then you kind of start to have this sort of negativity towards an audience, and you start going like, people like this,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh my god.
And then you move through the world, and you're like, are you one of the, someone cuts you off in traffic, and you're like, oh, you're the one that follows that mommy blogger?
Yes.
Like, let me guess. Like, it starts to make you kind of like negative about people in general, and I just like, I'm really mad at myself that I'm allowing myself to go there, because then I'm doing a lot of like, oh, this is doing well.
I mean, it makes sense. I feel like comedy is one of the most. I remember, I think I saw this in the Joan Rivers documentary, which I talk about all the time.
Amazing piece of work.
Her.
Genius.
And she talks about how insecure us as comedians are. Or like, you know, it's like you are getting on stage and you're like, laugh at me. Like, with me, at me, don't care, laugh.
Something I love is like becoming a comedian. We do it to control how we're embarrassed.
Yes.
And embarrassment is like the ultimate, sorry, I know this word is really overused, but like trigger for me. And when you're like, these views are down, or people can see these views or whatever, and you're like, well, that's embarrassing. Like that, and I can't control it. I can't like joke about it. I can't transmogrify it or sublimate it into something else, you know? And it's just like, how have I gotten to this point where I'm like, I felt like I had my self-worth under control, and I wasn't defining myself through my productivity and through awards and through money. Like I was actually like at a place of self-love, and now I'm like, you know, and as a comic, like, you know, it's, you know, I had someone on and we were talking about conspiracy theories, and I guess you can't really do that. And I think I get mad about like they're trying to silence us, and and then it turns into a much bigger thing for me.
It's the embarrassment turned anger.
Yes.
That's what it is.
When I'm embarrassed, everyone's on notice.
Everyone's on notice. I'm angry. I'm angry at the world. Mm-hmm. I'm so hyper defensive. And then when the worst is when someone will be like, but just try to do this. Just, you can do it. Like, I do these like skits on like, that's like my whole shtick.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do skits for 4 months. I couldn't do them for 4 months. It was impossible. And people like Louise kept saying like, just do a skit. It's not that hard. I'm like, you don't understand.
You get paralyzed.
Because the only way I can do these comedy things is when I feel so confident in myself.
Yeah.
When I don't feel confident in myself, I'm like this shell of who I am. I'm so on defense. Everyone's on notice, like you said. And I just get bitter and angry at the world, and I get really creatively stuck, and I get really in my own head.
Same, because I'm like, I don't know who I'm creating this for. And then I go on there, and then I'm like, well, if you guys think this is funny, you know what I mean? Or what am I doing? Cooking tips? Should I make dinosaur-shaped pancakes?
Yeah.
You pigs? You know what I mean? Then I'm like, I don't want to, like, I pout.
Right.
And I go like, I'm so afraid of failing that I'm going to make it my idea that I fail. Or like, I'm not going to play. I can't lose if I don't play. I'm just going to sit this. I'm going to take my toys and go home.
I'm going to give up now.
If I can't be number one.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, bitch, like, can you not be number 3, number 4 every now and then? Can you not, like, are those the options? Radical self-love if you have everything you want, and then you hate yourself if an algorithm doesn't go your way. I get mad at myself that I'm still like looking to things I can't control for approval. And what I forget is adversity is what makes us funny in the first place. And struggling tooth and nail for attention is what drives us, you know? So I also don't want to get in a place where everything's so easy that I'm creatively stunted, because we've seen the people that kind of have everything and then they start to
plateau,
be delusional. I mean,
yes,
The Rock is selling shampoo. He doesn't have hair.
Is he really? Is it doing well? Do you know The Rock is selling shampoo?
Does he know he's selling it?
Yeah, like
does he even know about it?
Do you know I'm pretty sure he's the most profitable and followed person in the world.
I think correct. I think this is correct. But I think more like comedians, artists and stuff, I think when things start getting too easy for them, they stop being as interesting creatively. So
Yes.
it's like adversity is what makes us interesting, which makes us work. So like, okay, if my adversity I've worked so hard to make sure that there's no drama in my life, you know, to control the amount of adversity I can. I'm not like masochistic anymore. I don't date addicts. I don't date narcissists anymore. I don't hurt myself in that way. So it's like, okay, if the hardest thing that happened to me today is that I didn't get the views I wanted, like life's going pretty well.
Life's going pretty well.
You know what I mean?
As long as the bills are paid, the people around me are happy.
It's my ego.
Yeah.
It's just totally my ego's bruised.
Yeah. I get it.
You know, and it's kind of like, but then you have to like face all your like, am I relevant? Am I not relevant? But like, there's people that are like Donald Glover, you know, he will go away for 2 years. 2 years. And then he'll resurface and we're like, what's he doing? What's he up to? Beyonce is like, when she's gone, she's gone.
Yeah.
And then she will drop something in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, I always have to remember, like, you can go away for a while.
Yeah.
You can let people miss you.
You can.
You can go
And you've been working for so long, you can let yourself do that.
This is an opportunity to recharge your battery.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity to grow emotionally. And in order for art to imitate life, you have to have a life.
Right.
So it's like maybe TikTok is trying to tell you, like, you know what, go away, go on vacation.
Right.
Go get some new stories, go get some new jokes, go write your book, go,
Right.
you know, recharge yourself. So when you come back, you're not just going to be doing a bad impression of yourself, you know? So it's like, I
100%.
try to just go like, okay, the universe might just be telling me to go grow and evolve a little bit. And this is your opportunity.
100%.
You know? And oh, dude, mad at myself.
I get it.
I'm mad at a lot of things. I have like little pet peeves about like stuff like that. Pedophiles, I'm kind of mad at.
I would get that. I would understand that.
It's kind of like after watching the iCarly thing, like, I mean, Miranda Cosgrove, full disclosure, is a good friend of mine. But like, child acting, what do we think?
I always yelled at my parents because I was always like, why didn't you make me a child actor? Why didn't you do like, why aren't I famous yet?
Why aren't I famous yet?
And they were like, my parents lived in LA for so long and they were like, we would never do that to you.
But like, I think it should just be, child labor is illegal.
Right.
Why is it okay with acting? I think we want kids shows for kids to watch. I think that like, if there's an iCarly, Louise has to run it. You know, like, I'm just saying, young people have to make shows about young people.
Right.
It's going to be messy. You know, the scripts are going to be misspelled. And also you have to like be of a certain age to watch it. 65-year-old men don't get to watch iCarly. And 65-year-old men don't get to make iCarly.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like 18-year-olds get to make shows about 15-year-olds. Like,
I agree.
We just have to start doing that. I don't know. There's got to be some kind of solution here because it's getting ooky. I mean, this is also a business that was built on the back of a 4-year-old toddler named Shirley Temple. So like,
oh my God,
so just sketchy.
Sketchy
yeah,
shit.
ooky shit.
Well, speaking of sketchy shit.
Okay, give me. Was that too serious? Was that boring?
No. That was fascinating.
Also, Shirley Temple, I have full body chills.
Okay. I
full body
encourage
chills over Shirley
anybody.
Temple?
Yeah,
Justice.
thinking about justice.
Justice for Shirley Temple is my main cause, except besides Marilyn Monroe.
I can't even imagine what happened to her.
Okay, so she was starring in movies. Every movie she's in, she's like with a bunch of sailors at war. There's no mom in sight. There's not like a baby. It's just her and a bunch of men. And she's like sitting on their laps, like tap dancing for them and stuff. There is a music video called Good Ship Lollipop where she's like on all these men's lap. They put a cake in her face and then she has like white on her nose. And then these men are kissing her. It is wild. And she's 4 in the movie, which means it takes a year to make a movie. So that means she was cast at like 2.5. They shot it at 3. It came out when she was 4. Yuck, dude.
Yeah.
Yucko.
Whatever. I mean, I'll ask you about this after, but I do want to know what happened in her life. Like, how old did she live to?
There was an appearance recently. I love how like TV used to just, it would be on and then it would go away.
Right.
But like TikTok is like showing us all this TV that we like miss. Like have you seen like Prince like would do these interviews where he would like talk about like chemtrails and all these conspiracy theories?
Oh.
And everyone's like, how do we not know he would just like mouth off about stuff like that? It was like, because it would air and then go away. It's so weird to think about. But there was, Shirley Temple was on some interview talking about how she went to an audition once when she was 13 and the guy had his like pants off. But she's kind of like laughing about it.
Is she still alive?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think she like moved to Florida and now she's a delicious drink at Applebee's.
Do you know about the Tell Me What's Wrongs?
No.
Okay, so the pussies write in and they tell us what's wrong and we give them advice and we prescribe
I don't know
things.
what the... Okay, yes. No,
okay.
I know about the
Are you
concept.
ready to give some advice?
Yeah, let's go.
My mother's ex-boyfriend somehow found out our location. We were traveling and he traveled across the country to, quote, surprise us. He's not the greatest guy, so I don't like him as a person very much. My mom doesn't see any problems with him. I think she just wants dick. That reads creepy to me.
Hold on. Can I see that?
Yeah, here.
Thank you so much. Hold on. My mother's ex-boyfriend found our location, traveled across the country. Not the greatest guy. Mom doesn't see problems. It's how old is he, I wonder? Are your parents together?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have that trauma.
Yeah.
That to me seems so much more traumatic.
You know.
Because then is it hard to find love because you've like seen real love?
Yeah,
I'll
my
settle for anything.
parents aren't really lovey-dovey. I don't really like know what love I want. Like, you know, I go on dates and I'm like, what am I even looking for?
Right.
I don't even know what I'm
You're
looking for.
You're so young at this point, you don't need to decide. But like
Yeah.
once I see a lot of people with married parents and it's hard for them to find love because they know what true love looks like.
Yeah, but
and you probably see a comfort level and you're
Right.
like, I don't have this comfort level that my parents have.
Right.
I just saw, violent alcoholism. So anyone who will talk to me,
I'm sorry.
like, any narcissistic, secretly gay producer I will date for 2 years of my life. I think as kids, we have to totally detach from our parents' behavior.
Okay.
It is, I think, a really rough moment in your life when you have to take one of your parents like off the pedestal.
Yeah.
When you have to go like, oh, this superhero that I thought had no flaws can be insecure, wants to get back with an ex, doesn't communicate great, dates toxic people, something really like, I think that's kind of when you become an adult.
Right.
When you're able to just go like, my mom like makes bad decisions sometimes, but like
Right.
I'm okay. I don't
Right.
have to like attach to this like perfect mother thing or perfect father thing. Like they're just human beings too.
Right.
And they were born 60 years ago when women had like no tools.
Right.
I mean, it's a miracle. I mean,
Right.
she like had slaves. I mean, this was like, it was a while back. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So it's like, it's hard to, I think, accept that. So I don't even know if this has, like, make sure, like, I remember when my dad had a new wife. I, like, hated her. And, like,
Right.
it was just like, but it was just more like, I had to accept the fact that he made bad choices. It had
Right.
nothing really to do with her.
It's kind of just like realizing your parents are grown-up children.
And that yes, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And there's a little bit of like, oh, I'm kind of on my own now.
Yeah.
But like to expect your parent to always be perfect as you get older, it's a hard thing to accept.
I have a pretty rogue prescription for her. Have you ever seen 8 Mile?
Yeah, with them.
Eminem has
Kim
a really
Basinger.
has a really weird relationship with his mom in the movie,
Yeah.
and so I'm gonna prescribe you 8 Mile.
Moms are just human beings.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a good Precious. Watch Precious.
You know, I've never seen Precious. I'm scared it'll make me too sad.
It will take you there.
Yeah.
You will go there.
I love.
It's sad and it's
yeah.
brilliant. It's heartbreaking. It's all the things.
I just
but
love Monique, and I don't want to see her in such an evil role.
Oh, she's amazing in it.
Didn't she get in trouble or something?
Well, she basically said, I'm not doing press for movies unless I get paid to do press. So when you're in a movie, you're going to not, I mean.
That's a pretty outrageous
Right?
thing to
Let's
say.
just say, when you're in the Hunger Games 7, they'll go, you now need to go to Korea and China and all these places, and we have a private jet for you, but like, you're not getting paid. And you're like, well, that's 6 months where I can't podcast, I can't,
Right.
whatever, work on my makeup line and like be
But it's
me.
an investment.
Yeah. And she was kind of like, the independent movies like that, you don't make a ton of money, but like, you get a bunch of critical acclaim. And she was just like, I mean, you can't go work for free for that long, but it's kind of you sort of say you're going to promote the movie. You want to promote the movie.
Yeah.
She just kind of like, she's that bitch,
Yeah.
She said to Netflix, like, Amy Schumer got paid $8 million for her special. Like, why am I getting paid $500,000?
Right.
I'm not doing this.
Amy Schumer got 8 million.
I don't know if that, it was like, whatever, but she was just
Right.
like, why am I getting paid so little?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can't weigh in.
I'm getting married later this year, and I have a serious issue. One of the bridesmaids and groomsmen have been dating for a few years, and now they have broken up.
There's something wrong with me, right?
No, it's a thing. In that chair, you can't hear. It's like
I'm like, no, I'm kind of disassociating because I'm sort of just like obsessed with you and I'm just watching
Whitney!
you. It's like, when you're like, I'll watch someone read a phone book. I'm just watching you read the questions and I'm being entertained and not actually trying to listen and help this part. One of the bridesmaids and groomsmen had been dating.
They broke up. A bridesmaid of the girl and the groomsmen of the men were dating, and they broke up. And it's like, well, that's if they're good friends and they're good bridesmaids and they're good groomsmen, they will not make it your problem because it's your wedding. Is my take on that.
Yeah, what does this have to do with it? I mean, everyone's dated everyone.
Right. Like if you are so worried about your friend and how she will react or how he will react, not friends.
No. So she's worried. Don't pair them together when they walk down the aisle, obviously.
Right. And to that, I prescribe bridesmaids with Kristen
What I will
Wiig.
say is these people are the least of your worries.
Yeah.
At your wedding. Weddings bring out the
worst.
batshit in everybody. And it's always the person you least expect to be batshit, who like something's going to come up for them. They're going to hear a Rita Ora song, the Rita Ora song that hits them sideways, that they got broken up to, that time they were on Molly. Like, someone is going to ruin your wedding. You just can't let them do it.
Right.
Everyone's emotions come up. Someone's going to wear a miniskirt. Someone's going to wear a long white dress.
Yeah.
Your sister, maybe.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild. A lot of wild shit's going to happen. One of your husband's groomsmen is going to get up and go, I mean, of all the girls, he picked you. And now I see why. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, we had some wild nights in Vegas.
And you're like, oh, what
before
wild nights?
Lindsay came along. And you're like, a lot of shit.
Right.
I think weddings, like, just prepare yourself for everyone to be a nightmare, not just this groomsman and bridesmaid.
Yeah. And to that, I prescribe Bridesmaids with Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph.
Gets better every time I see it.
Favorite movie of all time.
God damn, that's fresh.
Yeah.
God damn, that's fresh.
I remember seeing that in theaters with my dad when I was 11.
Screaming.
And being like, what the fuck is happening?
When she's on the plane, she's on another level.
It's the best movie. It's
on
my favorite comedy movie, I would say, of all time.
What are your favorite of her characters on SNL?
God, what the fuck?
I love Gilly.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite too.
It's so insane. Or the girl that can't keep a secret.
Yeah, like I like the one where Gilly. If I remember correctly, it's the one where
she's the schoolgirl. Yeah. Where she's like, yeah. And then her and Fred Armisen do that like band that's always late.
Was she in the Californians?
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
It was her, Armisen, Bill Hader, and then like whatever rotating guest.
Right.
Hop on the 405 and then get out of here, and then get on the 5, and then so good. But her and Fred Armisen do that thing where they are a band, but they're improvising their songs because they're late and haven't written anything, and they're like he'll sing it and she'll have to like go along with it. It's called Garth and Kat.
Yes.
It hills me.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's next level.
She's next level.
Have you met her?
Oh, my God, I fucking wish. I have absolutely fallen in love with a man who is concerningly older than me and who already has a child. He is the worst possible thing for me, but I can't cut it off for some reason. It's giving, but Daddy, I Love Him, which, if you don't know, is a new Taylor Swift song.
By the way, okay, so I haven't decoded the new album yet.
It's amazing.
But I'm getting a lot of people coming out of the woodwork, like, apologizing about stuff from the past. It feels like this album is kicking up, like, looking in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
People will be like, I haven't seen you in a while, and I'm sorry that happened. I'm like, new album, I gotta hear it to understand why people all of a sudden.
Taylor on this album kind of addresses that. This album is really, really personal if you know her lore and you know the vibe. But I'm just going off on a Taylor tangent now. The thing about that song, which if you haven't heard it, you should listen to it on your way home after this, because they won't let me play it on this thing, or else it'll not go up on YouTube. Taylor Swift does an excellent job of doing a beginning, middle, and an end of a story in a song. Yeah. And that song is like a prime example.
Wait, which one?
But Daddy, I Love Him.
But Daddy, I Love Him. Right,
and it's about this, everyone is like scorning these lovers. Even her family is. Yep. And
I wonder who, do you know who?
You know, a lot of the best Taylor Swift songs I don't think are about really anyone specifically. I think as Swifties, we try to like decode and find meaning in everything. But sometimes I think if Taylor wants us to know that something is about someone.
Interesting.
Well, no. For example, in Thank You, Amy, Kim is capitalized.
Of course.
So we know it's about Kim Kardashian. In this, I almost just feel like Taylor's drawing experience from things.
And I think she's such a genius at being like Monet or like Chuck Close, these artists that like give you enough specificity to know how personal it is and to feel the personal connection, but to also be able to fill in the blanks with your own experience. Like great comics do this too. Like Sebastian Maniscalco, if you've ever seen him, he'll say, you know, like, has anyone flown Spirit Airlines? Like, or whatever it is. Right. And then everyone will laugh for like a minute and they'll fill in the blanks on their own experience. Right. And he'll just hold. And then he'll tell his experience, you know, and she has this amazing ability to be just vague enough to where it's like so personal. You're like, did she write this song for me? Did she read my diary?
She's so good. She's so good. I had like an anxiety attack last night, like a really bad OCD attack. And I literally felt like a baby that you had to play music for. And listening to Taylor Swift was the only thing that would calm me down.
What's going to happen though? I get scared when someone is like, where I'm like, are people going to put a target on her back?
They already have. Have.
With the snakes and stuff?
They already have. No, but even today, people are coming for her left and right about
the
anything.
voting.
anything she could do.
They'll be like, how come she's not posting about the election? You're like, has she not done enough for you?
But it's just like, it's not even that. They get mad about her, whatever. I don't even like, it's not even worth like my breath because it's so ridiculous.
Right,
but
right.
like, she has her loyal Swifties that just ride for her, like me. Like, she has people that just defend her, and I'll defend her till the day I die.
She is just like, is she our Dolly Parton?
I think I compare them a lot.
This kind of like Dolly has made it. I mean, Dolly people are like her heart is so clearly about entertaining people with this like purity. Like it's just all for the fans.
Right.
And there's sort of, is she going to do a Taylor Wood? She should do an amusement park.
Oh,
Swiftie Wood? Genius. Yeah. And her dad is her manager, right? I don't know a ton about
her
him.
Her manager is this guy. It's a lot of lore. I'll explain it to you.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's just it's boring.
Yeah. But, nothing bores me about her life and choices. Oh my God.
But to this girl that is falling in love with a man that is older with a child.
Okay.
I would prescribe to you, But Daddy, I Love Him. But in the end of But Daddy, I Love Him, they get together, and I don't necessarily think you should be with this person if every single person in your life that you love is telling you not to do it. It's just my opinion.
Great. And I'll throw a couple things in, which is dating older, dating a guy with a kid. Do it for a little. It's kind of great sometimes. They've spent most of their time watching Disney movies. They know you deserve to be treated like a princess. They watch princess movies all day.
Right.
This is good news. They can make tiny snacks.
Right.
Okay. They know how to cut up an orange. They have a minivan. I love a dad. Their testosterone is a little bit lower.
Always.
We like a dad.
Yeah.
They can schedule shit out. They know how to decode a crying person.
Right. Yes.
They're like interpreters. They can figure out what you're trying to say when you're crying. But I think that as I get older, though, I think there is some wisdom that only comes with age. Not a lot of it.
It's very true.
But there is some where I'm like, oh shit, there's no way I would have known this any sooner, and no one would have thought to tell me. Dating someone your age I always did older or younger. My age, I don't know why I never did, whatever. I also kind of look older than my age. I always kind of have. But there's something amazing about the chemistry of having a shared experience.
I can't even imagine.
It's I had recently dated guys that were like 10 years younger than me, and I had explained things to them, and it was like this song that came on, and I was like, okay, Eve is a rapper that was in the rapper, and then he doesn't know who Eve is, and I'm just like, this is pure disrespect. Like, and I would get like angry, and then he would be like, but Rita Ora, and I'd be like, industry plant, and and so it kind of like, to me, music, television, the things that entertain us is so bonding, and there's such a mine isn't like we have to be politically aligned. Who gives a shit if anyone believes anything about politics? At this point, like, you're out of your mind, so it's to be able to just like sing along to the same song, to be able to just like have the same moment, and because sometimes emotions you can't explain, or if you do, it sounds patronizing, words fail. If you're able to go like, remember when Lena Dunham said this to so-and-so, it's like that, and you're like, I get it.
Yes.
It's like the ability to communicate is the most important thing in a relationship. And sometimes you communicate through like a lyric in a song or a shared TV show you watch. And TV shows, when you watch them, also matters.
Yeah.
When you watched Girls, you were going through something, and Allison Williams' character said this thing, It's like, so if they weren't going through the same thing in the zeitgeist at the same time, I mean, it's just, I'm dating someone who's truly exactly my age now. And
it's the best.
When a song comes on and we're like, and then this happened, and remember when he was at the VMAs and she wore this and Lady Gaga's meat dress, and you're just like, that's chemistry. You know what I mean? Because I think sometimes we're like trying to get along and trying to explain something to someone. You then become an authority figure, or they become an authority figure to you, and then it becomes like maternal or paternal and like weird incest.
Yeah.
It might be hot for a while, but it's not sustainable.
Okay, I am gonna leave this pussy with that because I thought that was so poignant and so beautiful. I really did. It was such a great description of why it's so important to date someone in your age range.
Like, try it. You know what I mean? I mean, especially when you're like young, when you're a younger girl, and I know, look, like this is like a very hot take right now. I'm not supposed to say this. When you're younger, like, and maybe it's the same. Like, there's a lot of like males, high school guys dating their teachers these days. Like, there's wild shit going on everywhere. Like, thank you, Snapchat. And like, but like when you're younger, like sometimes you just like want someone who has a car. Sometimes you just want someone like
who has their shit together.
Who's like
you
been
don't.
to Florida.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, you've been to Florida? What's that? Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes like you just want to be like dazzled, but like, go on Reddit. There's chat, but I think sometimes it's like you just want to feel like an adult. And it's hard to, sometimes we conflate like feeling like an adult and feeling smart with like love. And when an older guy says to you, like, you're so much older than your age, you're so mature, that's a groomer. That is gross. And I think eventually, as you get older, you realize you're like, when I was 18 dating that 28-year-old, like, what a loser.
Right.
I had nothing to say.
Right.
And like, it's cute now, but you're going to look back and be like, that guy is the worst.
Right.
What a loser that he wanted to date an 18-year-old when he was 28 or whatever the age difference is.
100%. Because I wanted to date older when I was younger.
Why is this 28-year-old man on Snapchat?
Yeah.
On my streak? Like, yuck.
It's weird.
Yuck. Get out of here.
Get out of here. So break up with him. It's just for your mental health.
Yeah, send him an email on AOL.
Yeah, which
send him however you communicate with this man. LinkedIn.
Ooh, I'm gonna prescribe. Hold on.
My
gears are grinding.
But we'll see. I was just thinking because we talked about Sofia Coppola earlier, Lost in Translation. That's that Scarlett Johansson Bill Murray movie.
I've never seen.
Doesn't quite hold up.
I've never seen. Or I'll prescribe like any Lana Del Rey music. She sings about older men a lot.
By the way, I get it.
Agreed. All my closest friends moved abroad, and if I don't reach out, I literally don't know about them. I'm really tired of holding our friendship bridge, but it is so hard to make friends in my late 20s. That gives me anxiety.
Friends living abroad, it depends on what you're like, where you're getting your emotional needs met. Like, you have to do the, like, is it not Pavlov's hierarchy of needs, but there's this like hierarchy of needs of being like, are you getting like your emotional needs met through your pets, through video games, through anime, through disassociating and fantasy? I mean, I found myself having a lot of acquaintances and not a lot of friends because I actually was avoidant and had intimacy stuff because growing up with an alcoholic mom that was very like unpredictable and like borderline, and her emotions were very big. Like, I was scared to become really close friends with girlfriends because I was afraid of their emotions.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would actually pick girls, was best friends with someone that lived in New York and that was always gone, and it kind of was like, that felt like safe.
Right.
And I had to so I think it's first like, see if you're not choosing these people on purpose because they're unavailable. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then figure out like what kind of emotional needs you need to get met. I don't think friends should feel like a chore or
they shouldn't.
They shouldn't. That's family.
That's family.
That's your boyfriend.
Yes. But there is something to be said for have these friends become your family.
Chosen family.
You know what I mean?
That's big.
A chosen family is a hill I will die on. I think it's the most important thing.
The
in
most
entire
important
world.
thing, but I think that it's taken me a long time because I am loyal to a fault where if something feels like maintenance, that's something that is like, do I put more effort into this or just cut it off? It's hard to tell.
100%.
Because like, I'm a little bit all over the place with the relationship should be work, like takes work. Like a love relationship, of course, you need to connect and you have to make sure your schedules align and you have to like whatever, but like, should friendships take work?
No, they shouldn't.
How about this? It can be work, but it shouldn't feel like work.
Yes.
If it's work you enjoy doing, stick
if
around.
Not, then
if you're like, I can't follow up with this person in the time zone, but like if it's someone you love, you're a friend that's really close with, it's like, what's going on in London? Let's FaceTime. Like that's work. It doesn't feel like work.
Well, I'm going to prescribe Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants because they are best friends and they don't live
friendship
together.
breakups are sometimes harder than romantic breakups.
Oh my God.
Can't.
The darkest times in my life.
Can't.
The darkest time in my life was a friendship breakup. I'll never forget it. It made me who I am today. It scarred me to the point of like no return. Like, it's like, oh my God, you like revert and then you rise.
Wow, like a chrysalis.
Like, you're just like, what the fuck just happened? Oh my God, these were my best friends.
Your like inner child takes over.
You're like, what? Oh my God, I don't cry. I haven't cried in 4 years, but I remember that time crying so hard.
You talked about that in the pod a lot?
Not really. Just because I have so much love for all of them still. I love them all. I wish them all nothing but the best. But it was a really, really, really dark time in my life. And like, I just remember being like, am I a bad, like it was just,
I can relate because I didn't get in the TikTok algorithm this morning. And that is exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
Do you look back now and go,
thank God.
Thank God.
I say thank God because after that, I reached out to this girl I knew at the time. Her name was Julia. And we had met the previous summer. And I don't know how I did this. I just asked her to get lunch, which is something I used to be so much better at. I was just a lunch person. Like, let's get lunches.
Psychopath?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I can't do that anymore.
If you asked me to lunch, I would call the police.
I'm back. I've been in LA for 6 years. I can't do that anymore. But in New York, I could because that's where I grew up. And Julia became my best friend. We ended up both getting into USC. We went to USC together.
Amazing.
Julia is still my best friend. She lives in this house with me. And I would not be best friends with Julia if it wasn't for this. So
getting heartbroken by friends, no one talks about that. It's almost harder than love.
It's impossible. It's the worst feeling ever. You feel so rejected. All right, this is the last Tell Me What's
But
Wrong.
enough about Gaga. We'll be friends again soon.
I broke into my friend's car to get weed, and my dad found out. He refuses to talk to me, but he's supposed to walk me down the aisle in 3 days. What the hell do I do? Wait, what? Okay, so the first issue is, why are you breaking into your friend's car for weed?
What state is this?
Yeah,
you know they deliver it to your door, like Postmates.
This is crazy.
Now.
But if your dad's a good dad, he'll walk you down the aisle still.
I have a bigger question.
Yes.
You're getting married in 3 days, and you're like, I need to get stoned.
Yeah, like.
Maybe this isn't the one. You know, you know what I'm saying? If you're self-medicating this much, either you're anxious about the wedding.
Right.
Is this the right person?
Right.
Or is that just normal wedding jitters? I don't know.
But she's breaking into her friend's car, and somehow her dad found out that she broke into her friend's car. It doesn't sound like the friend was like, hey, go into my car and grab the weed. It was like she broke into the friend's car.
Well, yeah, a crime was committed.
Yeah.
Okay, so is the dad mad about the crime or about getting the weed?
I think he's mad about all of it.
I think this person was very stoned when they wrote this as well.
Yeah.
I think you need to get sober. There's a BettyFord.com. You know what? Hot take. I had a manic episode. Not this January, last January, because I was smoking a lot of weed.
Yeah.
Now that weed is legal in a lot of states, it is stronger.
Okay.
It's not for everyone's brain.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit of a tangent, but I might be saying like maybe see if weed is not, it might not be the match for your brain. If you're breaking into someone's car to get it, if you're acting manic and making bad decisions, the whole point of weed, why I started smoking it, was like, this will help me relax. This will help me be chill. It made me manic.
Right.
If you have an overactive brain, if you have obsessive thoughts, you know, weed depends on the kind. There's indica, there's sativa, maybe switch to a different kind. But if you're like breaking into a car to get weed,
something's wrong.
There could be like an addiction at play, which is someone that identifies as an addict. Like that's worth looking into because that could destroy your marriage and all this kind of stuff. Like, you know, they define addiction as when something stops being fun and when it becomes an obligation.
Interesting.
Right? So when you're like, I have to break into this car to get weed, like that's no longer like the cool, chill weed life. It's no longer solving problems.
Right.
It's like creating problems, right? But weed, at least the sativa for me, I mean, I went from like, life is good and like, I'm just so grateful.
Yeah, I don't like the sativa.
To like, I was calling a maritime lawyer, trying to look for the Scientology shit.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, Saudi money, they put Saudi money into Disney. You guys, I'm like calling my friends. They're like, maybe different strain of weed.
Yeah.
So there's different kinds, like, you know, just like anything, different things react differently to different people's neurology and your brain and your brain chemistry and your hormones. Like, I think we need to be more careful about, I know that sounds like a dorky take.
No, my dad says the same thing. And they
it's
said
strong.
it to me on Mother's Day, and I was like,
It's really strong. I mean, I one time fired someone that didn't work for me. I mean, you know, it's just, I'm like setting boundaries with people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to lean into my self-care. I'm posting wild shit on, you know, maybe that's why I got algorithm, my third like stoned TikTok, who knows? But like, I think it's worth figuring out why you needed the weed so bad that you needed to break in your friend's car and couldn't just ask your friend.
Right.
Because I do think addiction also creeps up on us when we start keeping secrets.
Yeah.
When we start hiding our drugs, when we start like, you know, putting them in cowboy boots so no one will find them.
100%.
Weed doesn't always chill us out.
It doesn't always.
Indica? Are you an indica person?
No, I sometimes do sativa to be creative, but I realized I smoked it yesterday and it made my OCD really bad. So I'm going to cut back on the sativa and start maybe just like not smoking for a day. I don't know.
And just figure out your like study your brain. Like we just don't study. Like I'm on 20 milligrams of Prozac.
Oh, I'm on 50.
Oh, love it. I'm obsessed with Prozac.
Yeah,
obsessed. It helps me stop the loop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just the OCD loop of leaving here and going, that was stupid. Why'd you say that? You were boring.
Right.
You're gonna suck. I'll think it for like 5 minutes instead of like 45 minutes now.
Me too.
Yes. You know, it took me a long time to take responsibility for my neurochemicals and just go like, oh, maybe I shouldn't smoke all this sativa to edibles. Absolutely can't.
Right.
I just cannot.
Yeah, I
don't know when they're going to kick in, the way that they're distributed.
Yeah.
I'm like, this was melted in my car. One of them is 500 milligrams. Like it's, you can't really, you know, so it's like, I feel like we're also excited that weed is legal, but
no, be careful.
Yeah, I sent a mass text message to all my friends on New Year's Eve about how we need to clean up the water in Flint.
Oh, okay. Well,
I stand by it.
Oh, wait, honestly, I was about to say it's a good thing.
It was like 10, 9, 8.
Yeah.
And I was like, we need to use our platforms more responsibly. Like, I was right. It was just like, you know.
It was like, this is New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it was like the wrong time to send the text.
Well, Whitney, what did we learn today?
Gosh, that I talk too much.
No.
I need to take more Prozac.
No, I
need to be on
learned
50.
that I think what I learned that was so insightful from you was that it was something you said about embarrassment and
how comedies we control
how we are embarrassed. And I think that's what I really took away.
I'm going to make fun of myself before anyone can make fun of me.
And I really took away also how important it is to date someone in your age range at least once in your life so you can connect on that level. That's what I learned.
I learned a reminder that like funny people can be fragile.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I think when people come at me hard, I'm always like, how could you do this? I'm a comedian. I'm extra sensitive. But that's not what people see.
Right.
Right? They just see the exoskeleton and like what I post. And it was a reminder that I needed to have more compassion for the people that troll me. Because again, I only show this armor. I see you as like tough, hilarious, quick, super brain, so funny, you know, of course, resilient, but like, just like, you know, it's just, there's always, I know this is a corny thing to say, but everyone's battling stuff that we know nothing about, you know? And I just love seeing like the many dimensions of people. And I love being reminded that like, even though we're like, you know, bitchy and funny and we're also like super sensitive and like, that's okay.
Yeah. Well, Whitney, thank you so much for coming on Therapuss.
What a dream. I hope this is okay.
This was amazing. This was amazing. This was insightful and funny and heartfelt, and you're amazing, and I love you, and I'm so honored that
I'm so happy for you, and I want to come to one of your shows.
I would like to come to, if I didn't have fucking drinks tonight, I'd go to yours, but.
Oh God, no, I'm up every night. I'm just working on new material.
Amazing.
But let me come do shows.
I would love to.
Like, you're such a star.
Oh, Whitney.
I love like a star.
Whitney.
I love a star. Like, I love a talent.
I try.
I love just like a straight up talent.
I fucking try. And Whitney, I love you so much.
I love you.
Hi, pussies. Put your tense up. Put your tense up, tense up.